I guess, reign of dominance, maybe this Kazan will be picked, and we get Night Market right here. And we have specialized
specialized training at the Kazan training. Imagine if both of his
which is definitely the Kazan training. Another thing to note is cast to last. SwitchSSB isn't actually hovering the Kazan though. Interesting.
No.
Maybe just maybe it's just predicting it to be banned, and yes, it's gonna be banned.
No, it's Jover. What's even the point?
And we're gonna see the cast to last right away locked in. Definitely, with on the era, it's definitely like kind of common on this map. I wonder if we'll see an X as well. Era X is one of the most common, I guess, comps we'll see a lot on this type of map. But it is to say though that it sucks to lose. You have to choose between cast to last and specialized on if we see an X. We're gonna see an Octavia on the other side, I believe, for swaghaver. Not as known as on it as the Asher, but I definitely have seen him perform very well on it. And we're gonna see phreidge, I believe, Zentaro, which is another, I guess, comfort pick. So I think both teams kind of have their characters except for the Kazan on Switch, but definitely an interesting, I guess, a good early matchup right away. We're gonna be seeing comfort versus comfort for the most part here. That is good to see. Right off the bat though, a lot of damage on swaghaver. This is kind of like the win con against this Octavia. Don't let her scale, right?
Do not let her scale. Well, cast last start means she's already halfway there.
She's already halfway there. Well, she's also already halfway dead. Actually, a little bit more than that.
Well, a little bit more, as it turns out.
Yeah,
I heard
exactly.
In a bit.
Definitely rough, especially when you're getting shrunk off cooldown, but is able to hit the level 2 at the cost of your entire health bar. Hurts a little bit, but one barrier is down on both sides. So we're getting a little bit of a more fast pace, and right away gets the kill and is able to, rebound the core as well. Can phreidge is actually holding out 1 versus 3 here, by the way, not letting the core go by them. Actually, really well played by phreidge, and now swaghaver is back up. But once again, it's taking these cyber swipes to the face every time it's off cooldown, and with this buff to eject button, it's definitely, causing them to be more common.
Yeah, here we see Switch a little low. ToastyLocal down all barriers, has flip, good.
Yep.
And maurycameraman just holding on right here.
maurycameraman is holding it down, as both barriers are down for the side of Quest Esports in this first point. But it's a little bit of a longer point. We're already in overtime. I definitely don't like longer points playing against longer points when your opponent has Octavia, because it just gives them more time to farm XP, right? We were talking about this. Scaling is really important, and when you get more XP on Octavia, it means you're harder to kill because you have more stagger, right? But there's a lot of low health bars as the other, barrier goes down for the side of Party Rockers. But from around the map there, what a shot by maurycameraman. He takes a snapshot of the goal and puts it in. Very nice job.
maurycameraman hitting us with Daft Punks around the world, and ToastyLocal was taking a trip to the midfield and unfortunately could not get back in time. Unfortunate.
Definitely we'll be sending that as in a postcard to ToastyLocal later on.
I hope you enjoy your trip.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy your trip. I even took a picture. But once again, these are kind of slow, methodical rounds. A lot of damage is going off, but it's hard for them to actually pick up the kill, it seems. Maybe the Asher might not have as much kill threat, but the buff to the Asher does allow it to, I guess, have that essentially dash punch that a lot of people think of. Now it's actually available on the Asher as well. A lot of, I guess, controversy with that, but we haven't seen it yet here.
maurycameraman looking a little low. SwitchSSB was looking to kill for a moment, but disengaged. Now back on the mission. 1 hit away from flip, maybe 2.
Oh,
there it is.
Able to pick it up.
Just puts it in.
Yeah,
just like that.
Yeah, maurycameraman also being low definitely had to back off, which essentially let Switch get a lot nicer of a flip. swaghaver tried to contest, but not enough. And I believe swaghaver also tried to use flip as well, because does not have the evade, which is actually incredibly important to look at, right? These evades on, the Octavia is the only way you're going to survive. As we see maurycameraman's HP goes to almost null as he is unable. They're unable to defend the barrier, and there it is. The stagger goes through, but both barriers are gonna go through. But Switch is actually really low. Swaghaver takes him out, but HamsterQuest is able to put it in the top corner as maurycameraman has to flee for his life to survive even, and it's gonna cost the goal to go through.
Yeah, wow. HamsterQuest sitting there dribbling the ball, waiting for the opportunity as swaghaver and phreidge were just bum rushing Switch, but he bided his time and found the moment to strike.
Yeah,
was able to just put it in.
It's definitely
something I want to talk about is comp differences.
Yeah,
where we see error on night market. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
Hitting a bit of the quirky angle right there.
A bit of a soaring angle, actually, if I do say so myself.
Whoa.
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 But as you were saying, I believe you were talking about how the differences in their comps definitely interesting, because I believe it also will manipulate, these awakening picks as we're going to see right here.
Yeah, a Spark Resilience coming out from swaghaver.
Yeah,
interesting. And Catalyst on Switch, which over 1-2 punch is. I think you could go either way, but
I am a little bit more of a fan of the Catalyst. I think that the Catalyst, even with the nerfs, especially with Egoist, Fire Up, and Quick Strike still on the table, very powerful awakening. Swaghaver does take this resilience to hopefully live longer. I'm a little bit concerned though, because I feel like maybe you actually want that Catalyst yourself so you can actually just have more evades. Because
right.
The extra 300 stagger isn't gonna really save you, I feel like. But maybe the idea is just the skill with the
having more stagger here and still staggered.
Yep.
Don't know how much it helped.
But I believe maybe the extra idea is just to spark, right? We're playing to scale when we play Octavia, right? So if we get like 2 or 3 sparks, even if you don't have that chrono boost, you have CTL already, and get like 3 sparks, and then you're just like like one of them is agility, and then you have like 600 speed, 3000 stagger. It's pretty annoying to deal with, I think. So I think that's the concept.
Spark Resilience is particularly useful because it can scale with sparks, obviously, but also the stagger trainings.
And they just buffed those as well, which is also nice to note, because it essentially means that you're getting a lot more stagger than before out of it. As we see one barrier go down for the cost of the Octavia's life here, but they are going to trade barriers. Can phreidge actually hold off on this? A little bit low level, and nice pass up to Switch to pick up the top of that barrier, but they're not quite able to convert as swaghaver has respawned here. But it's definitely looking really grim as these forwards for Quest Esports keep hammering it down, as we can see by the level lead on all 3 members. Partially because of the kills, but also partially because of the massive core control advantage on the side of Quest Esports here. And nice defense though. They're not quite able to put it in, but you can't just play defense all day. Eventually you're gonna have to move up, or else you're gonna run out of cooldowns. I almost put it in, and Switch is gonna put it in on the top side after just missing that bottom corner there.
Yeah, hitting the bounce off the bumper, giving him a perfect opportunity to tap into the top corner. And yeah, I think the Octavia Zentaro is a very strong burst comp, where they can, when Octavia has speed and Zentaro has cooldowns, they can just annihilate, especially an Amy goalie. Just free reign, open fire. But when Zentaro cooldowns are not on and the Octavia is not speeding up, they're just kind of sitting ducks, while HamsterQuest on the Era and Switch on the Asher are just always applying consistent pressure. Definitely
a really good point, actually. I think I can't bring it up again. I mean, I can bring it up over and over again. Also, the Egoist is actually here with that Catalyst. Is really nice to see. But I believe the Chrono Boost has to be denied from the Octavia, so that's really unfortunate. I actually may have just taken the Egoist myself and said screw it if she gets it, because I get Egoist anyways, right? She's gonna take the Spark. It's definitely not bad. But as you were saying earlier about the Era, I think the Era just kind of hard counters all 3 of these characters. It feels really bad to play Octavia into Era, play Zentaro, or any brawlers in general. Zentaro's not one of the worst brawlers against it, but it definitely even still feels bad on Zentaro. I mean, being slow, and small definitely hurt your character a lot. And even the Dubu will struggle a lot of times just due to the nature of her abilities. So I definitely think it's an interesting point, as we see Dubu actually getting annihilated off the screen with the Typhoon there, the Tornado there. Very good job by HamsterQuest.
The Oklahoma resident in the building.
Oklahoma resident in the building.
Did not hear the sirens.
Yeah, he did not hear the silence. phreidge almost actually dies, but they're able to put up a defense and actually get both barriers, and they're finally able to put a goal after a little bit of a goal drought for the side of Party Rockers here.
Yeah, bringing it back. Pulling themselves up. Again, it's their game plan has to be to just get everything in one go. Or else
is that not the most annoying thing to play against, by the way? If we see every single round ToastyLocal uses the cyber swipe and the glitch bomb on top of swaghaver and takes out half of their HP, it's so like frustrating, I think, and like anyone in the game. I'm still like not entirely sure how I'm supposed to counterplay. Like if you stay back, right, you're gonna lose kickoff every time. But if you go forward, you have to waste an evade on essentially 2 7-second cooldown abilities, so they're just gonna have them again anyways. It feels so frustrating to play against, and just in general.
Yeah, the Amy goalie are really strong, especially with this comp. I think Amy gives a great burst feature too. I keep talking about burst and consistency,
yeah.
but I think that's really the difference maker in this game. Amy can help the team win kickoff, which is something that Era Asher doesn't particularly. Well, Era Speed helps a lot.
I do think Era Speed on this map is particularly powerful for the gate, but I understand the concept you're trying to think of. Asher doesn't particularly want to just dash in on kickoff, right? That just doesn't feel that good. So
right,
definitely.
But ToastyLocal able to help them with that. Oh, get in there, SwitchSSB. Diving in, almost puts it in. Almost dies to swaghaver's ult there.
Yep, and they're actually gonna almost put this on the top. It's gonna force the flip from ToastyLocal, but they're not quite able to put it in. Nice ult, almost picking that up. But from downtown, swaghaver's gonna be able to get the second point and maybe look to start this comeback. I think, you know, you definitely do not want to sacrifice these rounds. While Chrono Boost is not on the table anymore, we still have quick strikes. We still have 2, I believe, sparks on the table as well. At least one, and speed is the one that definitely matters the most, I think, especially on this Octavia. So definitely don't just want to finish out this game right here if you're Quest Esports, and don't give them a chance, as you know they're doing the rest just that, as they put in their second goal as well.
Yeah, Quest not ready to lay down this set yet. Getting back in there, bringing us to 2-2. Match point for Quest Esports. If they can seal this one out, game over.
Yep.
We go to game 2, which means Party Rockers have to make this one big.
Yeah,
they gotta do it up right now. And
well.
hey, they are.
Exactly. Getting both barriers right away. The slow comes in.
Have I said burst comp enough?
Yep.
They're in there.
They are in there. I definitely do think that they're going to struggle a lot on this defense without any barriers, especially as the I-Man, and they're able to put it into the top corner, taking advantage of this comp. Very nice shot by phreidge, and all of a sudden, you know, now this is when you start to get scared. Like, could the reverse sweep actually happen? I mean, if there's any comp that's going to do it, this Antaro comp, this Antaro Octavia comp, you know, this scaling comp is definitely, you know, the team to do it. We see also one of the sparks. It's not the one they want, but we do see the Super Surge coming here for. It sucks that you can't get both Super Surge and Perfect Form.
SwitchSSB denies the spark focus from Octavia, forcing swaghaver to take Stagger Swagger. Oh no.
Yeah. Stagger Swagger opting for the Stagger Swagger. Swaghaver opting for the Stagger Swagger over the quick strikes. Probably sounds correct just because of how much the IME's bombarding you. Then I can kind of have that punishment, I guess. If you want to bombard me, I'm gonna get this extra speed buff. So it definitely makes sense. 2 good awakenings though, so they're both good, decent options. As phreidge actually takes their entire health bar right here, and there we go.
Wow.
Sends them down already.
Goodbye. It's been real.
Yep. I think honestly, while you don't really need the damage comp to have this IME, the IME can kind of just single-handedly supplement this damage, which is kind of what's happening. Which is doing a lot of damage, but it's kind of like more of, you know, it's doing the damage not on like, you know, target lockdown and load, but it's more like, oh, they're in my way, I'm just gonna push them out of my way. As phreidge does just that and puts it into the goal. As you know, definitely a good start if you're trying to finish this set off right here.
Yeah, Asher just plowing through.
Yep. And these energy bars
Unstoppable
are really
force.
one-sided, by the way. These energy bars are really one-sided. Look, the first flip's gonna come out, but we all have already like 2 flips that are ready. Nice pick up by phreidge using the super search to pick up that bottom barrier. So that is definitely nice. Nice return on Switch though. He's gonna ult once again to lock out maurycameraman from playing the game. Definitely really frustrating if you're maurycameraman. Every single time these ults push you back so far with the specialized training.
Yep, here swaghaver has flipped, dribbling it up, trying to get it through, not quite able to make it. And
Which is actually almost dead here. But once again, because of the catalyst, he's picking up a lot of energy from almost dying, allowing the evade to go through there. And it's actually going to move back to heal, I think, essentially just switching roles with ToastyLocal, as they're almost able to put it in right there and get both barriers. HamsterQuest looking for the shrink or the strike war or something, and they send phreidge to Narnia right there. I believe he sent himself actually with the dash.
Yeah, dash right into the wardrobe.
That looked very defendable as Dubu, I'm going to be real.
Yeah, and Asher and then Amy dashing in. Hey, good luck.
Yeah.
You got this one, boss.
Got this one, boss, and all of a sudden we're now 1 point away from just the game 1 being over here. Let's see if Party Rockers can pull back. They are notably go 2-1 in a lot of their series wins, so it isn't the end of the world. They definitely show that they can win, even when the opponents have a game on. But they definitely do not want to be in this position for sure, especially against a team as like just, you know, I guess efficient as Esports as they just send everyone to Narnia, and now they're just talking to each other. Definitely
is a bit of an understatement.
Yep, efficient is a little bit of an understatement. Very nice pickup. While they I guess were a little bit sloppy in the 3rd round, they were able to pick it up in the 4th. Very clean by Esports, picking up this game 1.
Yeah, well, I'm still reeling from what just happened. They busted out the wood chipper for that one.
Yeah, they busted out the wood chipper, and by wood chipper you mean the Asher ult that just knocked Dubu to Narnia over and over again. Definitely a crazy sequence of events as we see the stats here. And like you can see, like this core control was just so one-sided. All 3 members having like 120 plus, while only swaghaver being the only member on the team with even 100. Definitely frustrating, I think, when you're not able to have this core control, the same like level of core control, but while also still getting massively out damaged. By the way, as I was saying earlier, this ToastyLocal damage just hard carrying the team damage. Though Switch definitely did not slouch in any means, but I think it's more of Switch is just dealing the damage when they're in their way, while ToastyLocal is just dealing damage off cooldown, and it's really frustrating for the side of Party Rockers to deal with that, I think.
Yeah, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think this game was just a major league comp gap, unfortunately. While swaghaver and phreidge playing comfort picks, and especially on a cast last start, I agree with the concept. It's just not quite enough to get through the wall that is Era and Asher.
Literally a wall.
Yeah, literally wall. So I think for game 2, they're going to need something a little different, a little bit more consistent to make it through. Because I think if Quest Esports has anything, it's consistency. They're very, what's the word? I don't know, sturdy.
They've definitely picked up consistency in the last 2 weeks. They were struggling a little bit early on, but definitely
but they found their footing.
Yeah,
and now
they've been very consistent, I think.
Yeah, they've wedged themselves in there and are standing tall.
And we're going to be looking to get into this game 2 in just a moment. Definitely some things that look out for. The Oni Village, a little bit of a similar map, I guess, but to the last one in the fact that it's a little bit more defensively based, but at the same time, we're actually gonna see Catalyst start the Asher ban. Because it's kind of interesting because when people think of swaghaver, they think of swaghaver as the Asher player, not Switch, right? But when swaghaver didn't pick the Asher, Switch did. It was a little bit surprising, I guess. But now they just don't want to match the Asher here, I guess. Despite having a fantastic game, by the way, I'll have you know, on Switch is Asher. But I guess they are just like, you know what? If swaghaver plays it, you know, we don't want to like deal with this, right? We're gonna play it, you know, slow and put swaghaver off comfort. Definitely interesting to see, and I believe it's gonna be the Rasmus instead. We're basically have mirror comps, literal mirror comps. This might also be one of the most common comps on Only Village, right? We see the Estelle, very known pick, the melee goalie, usually a Dubu or an Atlas, and you know the Rasmus for like the more control-oriented brawler character, which is definitely what we're seeing here today.
Yeah, Estelle, incredibly strong on open maps, just able to manipulate the core pretty much however she wants, and then Rasmus also favors the control. Other brawlers really struggle with core control on this map, and it's so important because of how open it is. The speed lanes make the core move faster. Obviously, whoa.
Oh, they
Hey,
pick up the
speaking
kills.
of moving fast,
Yep.
Maury Cameraman's moving out of this game real quick.
Yep. I do want to note that the one major difference between these two teams is Maury Cameraman has strike shot, while the side of ToastyLocal, Quest Esports, has these, I believe, momentum boots, mom boots. Definitely interesting choices all around there. I think it's kind of funny because when people start, you know, think of momentum boots, this was like the map that kind of like started giving birth to the idea, right? Of momentum boots, but I believe Maury Cameraman perhaps maybe feels more comfortable because I believe last game they actually went momentum boots themselves, but maybe wanted to switch it up this game with the strike shot.
Yeah, it might be a comfort pick, liking strike shot more. Right, but
nice shot by swaghaver in that top corner.
yeah, momentum boots not doing ToastyLocal any good there.
That is for sure. And we're gonna see a lot of flips this game. This Catalyst, right? So
Yeah, welcome to a Catalyst game. I
we're
hope
seeing an
everyone's
RTS.
strapped in.
We're seeing an RTS right now, and it also makes these drafts just even more important, right? Because these energy awakenings are gonna matter so much in these drafts, because like, you know, everyone's flipping, right? So the team that's gonna get egoist and fire up are just gonna be able to flip with that much more power, right? Even quick strikes has just so much power, especially on this map as well. Even without like the Catalyst, the quick strikes is just pretty nice because it lets you like win strike wars and stuff. But just along with the Catalyst, nice flip by the way by Maury Cameraman, and they're gonna pick up the
An
goal.
incredible flip. Hey, that's a good flip right there.
That is a good flip. Cutting me off, but yeah, definitely interesting to see. phreidge is actually the only player in the game that does not have Catalyst, so a little bit left out here. But I believe that the idea may be just for the more cooldowns or the harder hits. They did just buff the cooldown reduction on heavy impact, so if you're getting like 2 hits on your primary or your ult, it's definitely, you might be getting some value out of that.
Yeah, Estelle is a character whose moves are already incredibly strong, and her cooldowns are balanced around that being just so long, and so anything to give cooldown reduction is incredibly helpful. In a Catalyst game, I don't know if taking that over
Definitely
is
interesting.
the energy awakening.
Definitely an interesting thought experiment.
Yeah, but it could work out. I don't
Yeah.
outright disagree with it, so I'm interested to see what comes of it. The
That
phreidge
is
though looking
true.
incredibly low.
And actually, that was a nice pickup on the barrier. Maybe impact with the help of heavy impact. As we now see all barriers down here. Maury Cameraman almost able to defend with his life, but not quite, as it's a 2-2 game. Definitely looking a lot like, I guess, almost the first set of the last game, of a lot lower and, you know, closer. I think this is also the type of game that will get out of control really fast if one side takes a lead and gets a really good draft. So this first set might just be the most important one of the entire game, just because these Catalyst games, of these energy games, end up becoming RTS games where it just slowly goes out of control. A nice kill by
my
Maury Cameraman!
God.
But both the goalies are just murderers right now, by the way. They both took out people.
Yeah, blood runneth in the streets.
Yeah.
As ToastyLocal dribbles it up against phreidge,
Yeah.
stalling for as long as possible.
Well played by both goalies there, for sure. And, you know, still both berries are up. Average only village gameplay, you know. We see all forwards die, and essentially just the goalies left, and it doesn't
Yeah, the
matter.
goalie battle. Welcome back to beta. The goalies are just ping-ponging between each other
Yeah.
from across the map.
Yeah, that is for sure.
Oh, but ToastyLocal State Farm Steppy rolls his way to losing a barrier.
Yeah.
And phreidge sends down a core flip. Not able to make it. Swaghaver dying.
Nice Oh! Swaghaver doesn't even need the flip. I actually don't know if Swaghaver realized they had the flip there after striking, but doesn't even need it. Very well-placed shot in the top corner as maurycameraman is going to be able to get these awakenings. No energy awakenings. You know, I think a large sigh of relief maybe for Quest Esports fans. I don't have to worry about this, you know, completely warping the game. But there are some interesting awakenings like extra special, the timeless creator, even the stagger swagger is definitely nice on this map for the extra speed, as we are going to be seeing it be picked up third.
Yep. Stagger swagger helping out, especially on phreidge, who doesn't have catalyst. So taking heavy impact to mount more of an offensive now picks up a defensive training to kind of balance out their build compared to everyone else.
Yeah, I think, you know, despite being no energy awakenings, if I'm on the side of Party Rockers, I'm still actually quite happy with this draft. I feel like they got a better end of the awakenings here, especially in this. It's a mirror, right? So all these awakening drafts actually matter that much more, right? Because both characters want, both teams want the exact same awakenings, right? They're just the same characters. So,
they're the same people.
They're the same people. So
they want the same things.
This draft means just so much more, right, than like a normal, I guess, you know, in a normal situation. Just because, you know, that's also awakenings taken off the board as well. A nice shot by HamsterQuest as I say this. But yeah, definitely a nice pickup from Party Rockers. We'll see if they're able to use it to utilize it to pull out, but definitely a nice start from Quest Esports to try to, I guess, take back the lead, or I guess, you know, take back the game here.
Yeah, HamsterQuest got down to business and had a great shot in, putting them up 1. If they can win this set, they even out the game. Which would, especially, oh wow.
That was a really nice switch up there by SwitchSSB, and they were able to get that top barrier, but they are not quite able to pick up the goal with a nice ult by maurycameraman. As these ults quite often though. ToastyLocal's moving up.
ToastyLocal's get in there! He doesn't even need the flip.
Doesn't even need the
like
flip.
That.
Sometimes the best forward is just the goalie in disguise, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sometimes your goalie gets bored and says, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yep. And actually could easily do it again and it still has the flip, right? I mean, we can see it happen again. As 2 flips just come out right away, and we're going to see a lot more of those with this catalyst. But we now see, you know, the walls be used to counter each other, and Switch making good usage of this specialized training to slam the side of phreidge off the map. But good strike wars by swaghaver, just taking it over. That chrono boost really coming in clutch there. maurycameraman also is a straightforward steppy roll, but is able to save it barely. Almost getting hooked out of his own net by Switch, but very clear. swaghaver forcing the flip by ToastyLocal. ToastyLocal is able to get the Switch, and all of a sudden we're 1-1.
Yeah, wow, and like you said last draft, no energy trainings means that Quest Esports is having a big sigh, but here also no energy awake. Where'd they all go?
Where'd they all go? They're
John
gonna be all in the last draft.
It's
gonna go to set 5, and all 4 are gonna be all 3 are gonna be in the last draft. That's what's gonna happen.
They're all gonna be there. John Odyssey, tell me where you hid the energy trainings.
This rapid fire and prime time, definitely nice pickups right away, both sides. We're gonna see in aerials. That's a lot of speed when the secondary goes down. On the side of swaghaver. Yep.
Yeah, dashing it up, and also 75% more range on the death touch.
Yeah, I believe it was used as a denial though, more than like just a straight up pickup. But definitely nice to see. Look at how fast he goes. And very, very nice. And as you said earlier, it also increases the range of the death touch. So maybe will allow for like certain core manipulation plays and stuff like that to go through.
Cross map hook.
Yep. swaghaver is very low though here. But it's flying, by the way, every time, and sent to Narnia. And they said that flying over to Narnia is swaghaver. Almost a very clean clear, but very nice pickup. Forced to use the flip though by HamsterQuest, badly. They're going to be able to almost get this in, but just slightly misses the angle. Almost a really clean power play as swaghaver sends SwitchSSB to Narnia this time. But they're just playing ping pong here, forces the flip out, but not quite able to get the goal off of the flip. Unfortunate, as they're still on the offense. Actually, HamsterQuest is one-on-one, but not quite able to get this. Switch respawns. They're going to be looking to force the attack on their own, as a specialized training hook throws the core almost into the net. But maurycameraman is defending this with his life right here. What a defensive effort here, as they're once again on the attack here. But HamsterQuest definitely doing a good job supplementing ToastyLocal as he returns to the net. phreidge does have the flip here, and they are able to pick the barrier without it, and both players have flips. phreidge is forced to use it and puts it in regardless. swaghaver is still having this flip, which is definitely nice as well going to this next round.
Yeah, wow, that was God's owniest village right there. At that point took so long. Both teams are so evenly matched right now.
Yeah, and they have literally the same team comps. They have literally the same teams. Like, you can't say, oh, you just got lucky, you picked better than me or something. I don't know. They have the same exact teams, right? But, like, this is definitely the skill matchup to end all skill matchups, right? But overall, very nice showing, and it's very, very close showing on both teams this game as well. So it could definitely go either way, as both first barriers are going down. maurycameraman forced to use the roll to pick that up. Nice primary to stop the ult, and they're able to pick up both barriers here, forcing the HamsterQuest flip. swaghaver's a little bit low here, but it does have an evade to work with here at least. As once it switches almost at flip himself, forcing the flip from maurycameraman to bring it out, but unfortunately uses the flip themselves as they're on the attack, but both forwards of the side of Party Rockers have low HP bars here.
Yeah, maurycameraman putting that strike shot to incredible work. Passes it over to phreidge, who gets it to swaghaver.
Definitely
gets it in.
Silencing the doubters, yes. Doing a very good job breaking up these dribbles and such with the strike shot. But good play by the side of Party Rockers to put it in right there.
Yeah, in this incredible war of attrition, Party Rockers are running it up.
They're definitely the team
ahead.
that's not getting bored faster. Misses the strike shot this time, but does still has the primary. Pick it up here. The ult is forced, but it allows for Party Rockers to get their core control again, which is nice. And actually, the offensive ult from ToastyLocal almost picking up the barrier right there. You see, like, these ults go out on both defensively and offensively a lot on this map, because a lot of times that's the only way you're gonna get the barrier, right? If the goalie helps with the op, right? But at the same time, when they do that, you kind of want to counter that defensively. maurycameraman just quite isn't able to pick up that barrier. The core move is moving a little bit fast, if you ask me. And the flip's coming out, but not able to pick up the goal there. This time he will get the goal barrier, but Switch is almost able to put it in, but maurycameraman picks it up despite not having the speed from the momentum boots. Nice save again, is able to clear it up a third time. Will phreidge win this? Yes, finally gets the strike advantage here with the increased dash range. swaghaver now puts it in.
Oh my god.
Does exactly what Switch was trying to do, but is like, I'll do it better. I think the aerials definitely came in handy though, allowing them to pick up that core there.
Yeah, maurycameraman putting on his head-to-toe Iron Wall cosplay and preventing it from
here
getting
they are.
out.
We finally see two of our energy awakenings.
Egoist quick strikes. This is a big Party Rockers favorite draft right now.
Sadly, the one player who's picking first doesn't have the energy awakenings, forced to take the hot shot. The Egoist is going to come out through ToastyLocal, probably going to supplement these offensive goalie pushes. Definitely interesting to see if it'll majorly affect the outcome of the game. We're going to see the Big Fish denial from swaghaver, but instead Castellas is taking, along with this Chrono Boost and this aerials, will allow the secondary to last for like a grillion years now. You don't actually have to proc it. You can end it early if you want, but I don't know if he will end it early when it lasts for like 30 years.
All right, just letting it fly.
Yeah. You don't really need the damage part unless you're trying to dribble, right, or do something. Right? Sometimes you don't have to like use the secondary, especially like at all, especially in this type of game, as the Rasmus and is actually able to just utilize the full extent of it. Look at how long that lasts, by the way. Yeah, it doesn't even like use the second part of it here in order to not like mess up the core, but sadly maurycameraman is not able to save that barrier, but he's able to save this goal so far.
Yeah, and something I want to touch on is, like you said, phreidge, the one player without Catalyst, picking up not an energy training, but instead Hotshot. But Hotshot recently buffed, and one of Estelle's best trainings could be exactly what phreidge needs.
But I think that Egoist actually just saved that barrier like really hard. The extra speed that ToastyLocal is getting from that Egoist, even if it's not on the offensive side, essentially allowed ToastyLocal to defend for long enough for their forwards to eventually score. Did lose that barrier after being forced to flip, but like, oh, look at all of a sudden they're still like halfway to their next flip. It's so impressive what this Catalyst Egoist does. Like even for a goalie, you wouldn't think, oh, it's not as effective, right? I don't need the speed. you know, to make offensive pushes as much. But you actually, like, it's so good regardless. It doesn't even matter.
Momentum boots stacked with the 10% movement buff after the
yes, you still get 10% even after the
proc.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, what a good flip coming out from Switch, getting right through the Dubu wall, and then tapping it into the corner. Wow. Quest Esports got the energy trainings.
Yep, you were saying that the 10% definitely helps. ToastyLocal actually didn't even get the flip this time. Barely even touched the core this time. There is double flips here on the side of Party Rockers, but it's almost not going to matter. Barely saves it. Both flips are going to be forced out. And now, the energy is, favored for the side of Quest Esports as they send maurycameraman to Narnia here. Unfortunate to see. And that's just going to go in. Flips are really powerful, as we just saw right there from downtown. Literally able to put it in. Especially when utilized with the speed lanes, it's just like the core moves so fast.
Yeah. Overtime, Oni Village,
and there's
Fire
Speed
Up
right there.
And Core Flip.
There's Fire Up and Twin Drive, really interesting. Twin Drive might be really annoying for this, already super speed Rasmus, but I think the stacks on stacks is another really good on this map, another really good awakening, but I will force the Fire Up to be, still available. Surprisingly, no one takes the Fire Up, by the way. I'm actually a little bit in awe here, because I feel like when you have, these catalyst things, you just want to win the energy war, but I guess neither of these teams, is putting as much attention into it, rather picking up just standard awakenings here. Definitely interesting concept.
ToastyLocal now rocking out with Catalyst, Egoist, and Fire Up.
Yep.
Feeling a little energetic today.
That is for sure, but it's not gonna be enough to save both barriers here, as both go down. But will it be enough to save the goal? That's what really matters here, as the offensive push from Switch almost puts it in. Not quite. swaghaver still running around with these this long as heck secondary, but not quite able to reach this from maurycameraman. Both barriers are down for both teams now. Open nets, definitely now dangerous for both sides, but nice defense from the side of phreidge to clear it out, but not quite enough, as Switch is able to put it in on the top corner.
Yep. Slide it right in there. Maurycameraman walking down, trying to cover the bottom, expecting something else. Unfortunately, not the case.
Oh, the flip just gonna be used right away. And the second flip, you see these flips, they don't care as much about utilizing them because the Fire Up gives them more flips anyways. All three flips used, but sadly the other two flips weren't nearly as valuable as the first. But Switch is able to pick it up in the end, and they're still putting on this offensive pressure, looking to take this match right here and now. But nice hold from maurycameraman, not being baited by this insta flip here against Switch, and is able to get the clear. But they still have an open net versus a closed net, which is definitely a rough situation to be in. As almost able to put it in right there, forcing the primary. And nice shot by HamsterQuest, and all of a sudden we are on match point. Literally match point in this series.
Series point.
Yeah.
Things are looking dire for Party Rockers, as they have to bring it back here.
Definitely want to Party Rocker it up here. And that's definitely not a good look, as the first barrier goes down. phreidge is able to pick up this top barrier, and the second barrier will go down as well. Definitely now all of a sudden it's a good start, and the Egoist core flip is going to be used from ToastyLocal. Definitely hurts to see, almost picking up that barrier, but it does get both players really low. swaghaver, really nice hook to almost put this in with the cheese hook here, but not quite. Once again, these health bars really are low still, and they're not able to heal just because of all the abilities that are just flying their way. HamsterQuest doing a great job making, keeping these players low. But the flip comes out, swaghaver's not able to put it in with that. And it's definitely really rough, because now swaghaver has to play life without a evade. And it's doing a great job at it so far. But they're going to lose their barrier in the process, and the flip is going to come through to kill swaghaver. Can phreidge and maurycameraman hold out for long enough, or will this just be the end here?
Let's see. phreidge putting on his best attempt.
And here comes the Egoist from ToastyLocal. And it's a 1-2-3 pass to all three members. And a nice way to close out the series for Quest Esports, ending Party Rockers' undefeated spree in a really clean series. Game 2 was a little bit closer, but still were able to pull it out and take the victory here.
Yeah, wow. think the MVP screen, saying ToastyLocal, and I think that's abundantly clear. Had the 3 major energy awakenings, 210 redirects, 2 KOs, and a whole goal and 3 assists. Like, ToastyLocal was the backbone of the team there. The playmaker, everything stemming from them and their energy.
Another game also to note where like the redirects are pretty one-sided for the winning side here. But it was definitely a little bit closer than last game in that aspect. But I do want to note that, you know, it definitely sucks as like the catalyst not being on phreidge. I actually think definitely hurt Party Rockers team a lot because of the fact that, you know, wasn't able to pick up that egoist from ToastyLocal, right? While Hotshot is nice, it's just Catalyst egoist is so strong. It just allows.
It's so strong.
Yeah, the extra like the speed boost, and then even just holding on to that 10% speed after it runs out is so good for defensive playmaking, as we saw here, and ended up coming in clutch, allowing Quest Esports to win the last 2 sets and take the series here.
Yep, and that's Quest Esports. Well, like you said, dethroning the king of NASA.
That's 2 undefeated teams in a row, by the way. They just took out. You know, that's.
Yeah, wow.
Yep.
Quest Esports on a bit of a tear, taking down all of the big names right now, looking to make a name for themselves in the North American Strikers Academy League.
Definitely
right
a nice bounce back, and I definitely that was definitely a great series. And if you want to like a shout out your channel or anything here, Ian, I know this was your last series of the day, but
oh yeah, that's it from me. I've had a great time casting these phenomenal games. So we will be back soon with Powerhouse Defenders versus PPL next, which that sounds like an amazing match.
Yep.
Stay tuned for that.
PPL.
Appa wants me to plug myself. I recently made an animation on my twitter.com. You can see it right there. I would appreciate.
Go vote for it. Go vote for on Omega Strikers Discord as well in the contest challenge as well. And now I hope you have a good time spending on that nice beach back in your background here. Definitely looks like a nice place to be.
It's beach time.
Beach time.
We will be heading to break. Don't go anywhere, or actually go. Get a snack.
Drink a water.
You've been sitting too long.
You've been sitting too long. It's time to hydrate. But, you know, keep the stream on.
Be back. Don't leave.
We're going to be seeing another great match between PHT and PPL coming up right here.